Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday the 19th of October 2019 and we're providing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 18th of October. We shall also discuss some of the factors affecting their price this past week and provide details of our recent silver video productions and what we intend to produce next week. So let's investigate. Gold rose $1 last week from $1,489 to $1,490, having hit a high of $1,498 and a low of $1,477. In sterling terms, gold finished the week at £1,147. That's down £30, a second quite significant fall. And in euros, it closed at €1,334. That's down €13. Silver fell 1 cent from $17.56 to $17.55, having hit a high of $17.73 and a low of $17.17. In sterling terms, it closed at £13.51. That's down 38 pence. And in euros, it closed at 15.70 euros. That's down 0.19 euros. The gold to silver ratio rose ever so slightly from 84.8 to 1 to 84.9 to 1. The Dow Jones closed on Friday at 26,770, down 255 points on the day and down 46 points on the week. And the Nasdaq closed at 8,089, down 67 points on the day, but up 32 points on the week. And the S&P 500 closed at 2,986, down 11 points on the day, but up 16 points on the week. Brent crude closed at $59.42, down $1.09 on the week. And WTI closed at $53.78. That's down 92 cents on the week. The dollar index stands at 97.28. That's down quite an appreciable 1.02 on the week. It wasn't that long ago when it was 99.2. Now, we concluded last week's video with the words, quote, "So as for next week, we suspect a trading range for both gold and silver with a slightly downward impetus," unquote. And this is more or less what happened, in that gold was up and down last week, mainly down, but then recovering slightly towards the end of the week, but still just operating within a tight range of $21. And this, despite a 1-point fall in the US dollar index and military action being carried out by Turkey against the Kurds. One should have expected a slight bump in precious metals as a result of both those factors, not price parity. Gold certainly fell in sterling terms, as sterling has increased significantly against the US dollar, with $1.30 now to the pound, up from $1.18 only a few weeks ago. The reason being is that it appears that we are close to a negotiated Brexit deal, and as we write this, the UK Parliament is voting on whether to accept that deal or not. If the answer is yes and it is accepted, we shall see sterling strengthen further. And if the answer is no, it will fall back a little, as uncertainty will again dominate. Economic factors marginally affecting gold prices last week include a 0.1% fall in retail sales excluding automobiles for September, though general retail sales were basically unchanged, and a 0.4% decline in industrial production for September. But as we stated last week, there would be very little news which would significantly affect prices, and that has been the case. Chinese growth figures announced last week were worse than anticipated, coming in at just 6% growth, and this of course does not bode well for global growth or for US exporters, especially considering now that the US tariffs of $7.5 billion worth of European goods also took effect on Friday. Now, technically speaking, we're looking at gold support near 1475 and resistance at 1511. With, of course, 1500 being, again, that psychological barrier, more than technical, but certainly psychological. And with most of the short-term and medium-term indices suggesting consolidation. If Brexit is agreed upon by the British Parliament and there are no major hiccups to the trade deal with China, we really have to wait until we're closer to the 31st of October, when the Fed makes its interest rate decision, before we will be able to identify with greater certainty the next direction for gold. Though very short term, it may be weakening slightly, but nothing to write home about. Again, it's more likely to be a dollar play. Now, silver tended to follow gold's trend last week, while moving within a slightly larger percentage range, within 56% range, and holding above the psychologically and technically important level of $17. It's worth mentioning that any fall below $17, and if it holds for a night or two, then this level will be bearish for silver and could see it fall quite dramatically to around 1625. However, we suspect that, like gold, a level of consolidation is likely until the interest rate decision is announced. So we can probably see silver prices vacillate really between $17 and $18. So let's take a look at economic data which could impact gold and silver prices. Well, there's nothing scheduled for Monday. On Tuesday, we have existing home sales for September. Wednesday, again, nothing scheduled. Thursday, market manufacturing flash PMI and services, flash PMI for October, and new home sales for September. And then on Friday, we have the consumer sentiment index for October. So once again, we have a week of limited economic data, with Thursday perhaps providing most of the excitement, and Friday giving us a guide as to whether the economic slowdown is impacting consumer expectations. So our view for next week is a further consolidation of gold and silver prices, potential slight weakening of the US dollar, therefore underpinning gold and silver, unless Brexit fails to pass. And if it does fail, then funds will move back out of sterling and into the US dollar again. It's the following week, the last week of this month, that we believe will be the most exciting, and we will see the greatest moves for gold and silver. We mentioned we foresee a breakout of silver at some stage. We're not there yet. And we suspect whatever happens vis-a-vis the Fed will have a major impact. Now, this past week, we've produced a series of important videos exclusively on silver. Yesterday's, which we didn't get out until quite late, is entitled, "Is Silver an Effective Hedge Against Inflation?" Now, if you haven't watched that, we seriously suggest you do. It's longer than our normal videos, and the one before, the truth about the gold to silver ratio and is it important, is the longest video we've done for a long time. Do watch those. We've also produced one entitled "Silver's Rocket Will Be Financial, Not Physical," and "Silver's Future Looks Bright, But When?" So those 4 videos we regard as being quite important. Because, to be candid, we believe they debunk much of the nonsense that the pumpers are attempting to persuade you with, where they only quote limited facts or taking their examples from deliberate time periods which suits their argument. As viewers know, we are ourselves collectors, stackers of gold and silver. But at no stage do we believe in the very near future we're going to see these prices rocket to the moon. And it's important that for any form of investment, or any form of hedging, or any form of buying of precious metals, should be undertaken with your feet firmly set on the ground. Now, we've put links to these videos in the description box below. And also, last week we launched our competition, our Illuminati Silver Signature Tune competition, where we have asked you to recommend a tune theme for our intro and outro videos. Now, that ends in the middle of this week, and if we choose one, whichever we choose, all those people who've agreed or supported that video, we will then put in basically a metaphoric hat, and one of them will be given the equivalent value of the price of an ounce of silver. Now, next week we are continuing with our silver theme, but we'll also be including gold in some of those analyses. We know some of you have asked, well, is gold a hedge against inflation? We will cover that next week. So please watch out for those videos too. Meanwhile, have a most pleasant weekend and prosperous week ahead. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel and pop over to illuminatisilver.com and sign up as a free or paying member. And finally, we're pleased to announce that the Christian Life channel we recommended to viewers last week, or the week before now, has actually hit the 100 subscriber level. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. And if you haven't done so, and you are of the Christian fraternity, then by all means go over and have a look at the site. If you're not, that's perfectly fair enough. That's not a problem. Thank you for listening. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.